Hi everyone, this is Liang. Today, I'm going to tell you guys something about the Arab Spring, the revolution of the Arab world. And this is the outline of my presentation. I will introduce the Arab Spring first. Then, I will tell you guys the purpose of this event and the influence over the world. Firstly, is the introduction of Arab Spring. The Arab Spring is a revolutionary wave of demonstrations and protests, both non-violent and violent, riots and civil wars in the Arab world that began on 18 December 2010 and spread throughout the countries of the Arab region and surroundings. And in this map, I get from the Wikipedia, you can see almost all the Arab countries involved in this event. The revolution starts from Tunisia. You can see it's this small black region. The bin Laden's government was overthrown by his people. Then the revolution quickly spread out to the Arab world. Until now, there are many countries' government was destroyed, such as the Mubarak's government in Egypt and the Gaddafi's government in Syria. And the primary reason of the event is because the 26-year-old Tunisian young man called Mohamed Bouazizi, who cannot find a job and make a living by selling the fruits on the street, was violated by the supervisor of the street and a female officer on 17 December 2010. Then he self-immolation and died. After his death, people in Tunisia can't bear the government's behaviors anymore. Then the Arab Spring started. However, personally, the real reason of the Arab Spring is the huge wealthy gap among the normal people and the upper level, the high unemployment, and the government's dictatorships. And for the wealthy gap, since the family is considered as the basic unit of the Arabic societies, the power of the family also means the wealth of their family members. For example, in Egypt, even though the incidence of the poverty has raised 26% in the last 2 years, but the wealth of the Cyrus family still reached $13 billion. The reason behind it is because the Arab government gave the benefits to the big family companies to help them earn the money, and in return, those families' companies will support the government and help them rule the country. And the government's behaviors cause the rich people become more rich and the poor people still be poor, and this is the reason of the huge wealthy gap. And for the high unemployment, until 2014, the overall unemployment rate of the Arab world is about 15%. You guys might think that's actually not a very high rate, but let's look at this chart. You can see almost about 25% of the young men cannot find a job in those big Arab countries. Then, let's imagine how their life could be. After graduate from school, they are seeking for the good life, but their country cannot ensure they have a job. And even though they have a job, the salary is very low. In addition, the women in every world can't have a job. And also, there's a 10% chance their father may lose the job. As a result, in every family, only half of the members may have a job with a little pay, and they need to support other family members. So there's no future and happiness for those young men in the middle class. So that's why they were against their government. and for the government's rules. In the Arab world, people are not equal. The upper level rule the country and earn money easily by set the rules which are benefits for them. But the middle level class have no political rights to influence the government. The only choice for them is work for the upper level people. It is extremely unfair for them, since they can never change their lives, and their big children are involved become the slaves for the rich people. Therefore, they start against the government. Then we jump to the second part of my presentation. The purpose of the Arab Spring is to create a participatory political system and a fair economic system and the independent judiciaries. And the key point is to give the human rights to the middle level class. And at the beginning, the success of the protest movement gave many Arab states hopes, making them believe the various groups united together can successful against the government and reach their final goals to build a new Arab world. However, it does not happen in the end. The success of the protest movement brought down quickly. The disagreement with different groups lead to the divergence. Also, after the Western countries and the other forces involved, things become more complicated. And in the end, the violence was considered as the solution. So, the Arab Spring did not really change the Arab world situation. In fact, the unemployment is keeping rising, and even though some government was overthrown by their people, but without the help of the country of the government, the civil war keep going, and their people do not really live better. However, it still have some effects over the world. There are basically two major effects. First is the Arab world is facing changing. Second is the other countries also influenced by the Arab Spring, and they start to fight against the government for their rights. Firstly, even though the Arab Spring does not successfully change the middle class situations, but in Arab world, they really change their impression to the world. In the past, especially after the 9/11 accident, people always considered as the Arab people as the terrorists, and people are dangerous there. But after the Arab Spring, we now know that this is not true. In fact, most normal people are just like us, and they are seeking for help from the Western countries. So, this change can really attract the powerful countries and big companies come to the Arab cultures and help them to rebuild their home. Also, this revolution really changed the mindset of the next generations in the Arab world. They will all notice the importance of the human rights, and I believe they can really change their traditional thoughts and are smart enough to prepare to change their country in a smart way. So, I thought in a long term, the Arab world will be better. And the Arab Spring also have deep influence over the Western countries. There are two big things I really want to mention here. The first one is occupied Wall Street. The marchers sat on the Wall Street and say they will change the Wall Street to the Tahrir Square, which is located in Egypt. And the reason they do that is because they feel the US government do not give the action they promised during the economic crisis, and the upper level shouldn't earn the money so easily. And in London, the 29-year-old black man called Mark, killed by the police, caused the 2011 London riots. And the reason is also because of the unemployment, and the economic crisis. And from these two events, we can say the Arab Spring really influenced the world deeply. And personally, I feel it is also means the new chapter of the Arab world. And this is my today's presentation. Thank you, and you all have a good day.